Chapter 26 of Far from the Madding Crowd. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Tig Hines. Far from the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. Chapter 26. Seen on the verge of the haymead. "Ah, Miss Everdene," said the sergeant, touching his diminutive cap. "Little did I think it was you I was speaking to the other night, and yet, if I had reflected, the Queen of the Corn Market, truth is truth at any hour of day or night, and I heard you so named in Casterbridge yesterday. The Queen of the Corn Market, I say, could be no other woman. I step across now to beg your forgiveness 1,000 times for having been led by my feelings to express myself too strongly for a stranger. To be sure, I am no stranger to the place. I am Sergeant Troy, as I told you, and I have assisted your uncle in these fields no end of times when I was a lad. I have been doing the same for you to-day." "I suppose I must thank you for that, Sergeant Troy," said the Queen of the Corn Market in an indifferently grateful tone. The sergeant looked hurt and sad. "Indeed you must not, Miss Everdene," he said. "Why could you think such a thing necessary?" "I am glad it is not." "Why, if I may ask without offence?" "Because I don't much want to thank you for anything." "I am afraid I have made a hole with my tongue that my heart will never mend. Oh, these intolerable times, that ill luck should follow a man for honestly telling a woman she is beautiful. 'Twas the most I said, you must own that, and the least I could say. That I own myself. There is some talk I could do without more easily than money." "Indeed, that remark is a sort of digression." "No, it means that I would rather have your room than your company." "And I would rather have curses from you than kisses from any other woman, so I'll stay here." Bathsheba was absolutely speechless, and yet she could not help feeling that the assistance he was rendering forbade a harsh repulse. "Well," continued Troy, "I suppose there is a praise which is rudeness, and that may be mine. At the same time, there is a treatment which is injustice, and that may be yours, because a plain, blunt man, who has never been taught concealment, speaks out his mind without exactly intending it, he is snapped off like the son of a sinner." "Indeed, there is no such case between us," she said, turning away. "I don't allow strangers to be bold and impudent, even in praise of me." "Ah, it is not the fact but the method which offends you," he said carelessly. "But I have the sad satisfaction of knowing that my words, whether pleasing or offensive, are unmistakably true. Would you have had me look at you and tell my acquaintance that you are quite a commonplace woman, to save you the embarrassment of being stared at if they come near you? Not I. I couldn't tell any such ridiculous lie about a beauty to encourage a single woman in England in too excessive a modesty." "It is all pretence, what you are saying," exclaimed Bathsheba, laughing in spite of herself at the sly method. "You are a rare invention, Sergeant Troy. Why couldn't you have passed by me that night and said nothing? That was all I meant to reproach you for." "Because I wasn't going to. Half the pleasure of a feeling lies in being able to express it on the spur of the moment, and I let out mine. It would have been just the same if you had been the reversed person, ugly and old. I should have exclaimed about it in the same way." "How long is it since you have been so afflicted with strong feeling, then?" "Oh, ever since I was big enough to know loveliness from deformity." "'Tis to be hoped your sense of the difference you speak of doesn't stop at faces, but extends to morals as well." "I won't speak of morals or religion, my own or anybody else's, though perhaps I should have been a very good Christian if you pretty women hadn't made me an idolater." Bathsheba moved on to hide the irrepressible dimplings of merriment. Troy followed, whirling his crop. "But, Miss Everdene, do you forgive me?" "Hardly." "Why?" "You say such things." "I said you were beautiful, and I'll say so still. For by— So you are, the most beautiful ever I saw, or may I fall dead this instant. Why, upon my—" "Don't, I won't listen to you. You are so profane," she said in a restless state between distress at hearing him and a penchant to hear more. "I say again you are a most fascinating woman. There's nothing remarkable in my saying so, is there? I'm sure the fact is evident enough. Miss Everdene, My opinion may be too forcibly let out to please you, and, for the matter of that, too insignificant to convince you. But surely it is honest. Why can't it be excused?" "Because it isn't a correct one," she femininely murmured. "Oh, fie, fie! Am I any worse for breaking the third of that terrible 10 than you are for breaking the ninth?" "Well, it doesn't seem quite true to me that I am fascinating," she replied evasively. "Not so to you? Then I say with all respect that, if so, it is owing to your modesty, Miss Everdene. But surely you must have been told by everybody of what everybody notices, and you should take their words for it." "They don't say so exactly." "Oh yes, they must." "Well, I mean to my face, as you do," she went on, allowing herself to be further lured into a conversation that intention had rigorously forbidden. "But you know they think so." "No. That is, I certainly have heard Liddy say they do, but—" She paused. Capitulation. It was the purport of the simple reply. Guarded as it was, capitulation unknown to herself. Never did a fragile, tailless sentence convey a more perfect meaning. The careless sergeant smiled within himself, and probably too the devil smiled from a loophole in Tophet. For the moment was the turning point of a career. Her tone and mien signified beyond mistake that the seed which was to lift the foundation had taken root in the chink. The remainder was a mere question of time and natural changes. "There, the truth comes out," said the soldier in reply. "Never tell me that a young lady can live in a buzz of admiration without knowing something about it. Ah, well, Miss Everdene, you are—pardon my blunt way—you are rather an injury to your race than otherwise." "How, indeed?" she said, opening her eyes. "Oh, it is true enough. I may as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb. An old country saying, not of much account, but it will do for a rough soldier. And so I will speak my mind, regardless of your pleasure, and without hoping or intending to get your pardon. Why, Miss Everdene, it is in this manner that your good looks may do more harm than good in the world." The sergeant looked down the mead in critical abstraction. "Probably some one man, on an average, falls in love with each ordinary woman. She can marry him. He is content and leads a useful life. Such women as you 100 men always covet. Your eyes will bewitch scores on scores into an unavailing fancy for you. You can only marry one of that many. Out of these, say 20 will endeavour to drown the bitterness of despised love in drink. 20 more will mope away their lives without a wish or attempt to make a mark in the world, because they have no ambition apart from their attachment to you. 20 more, the susceptible person, myself possibly among them, will be always draggling after you, getting where they may just see you, and doing desperate things. Men are such constant fools. The rest may try to get over their passions with more or less success, but all these men will be saddened. And not only these 99 men, but the 99 women they may have married are saddened with them. There's my tale. That's why I say that a woman so charming as yourself, Miss Everdene, is hardly a blessing to her race." The handsome sergeant's features were during this speech as rigid and stern as John Knox's in addressing his gay young queen. Seeing she made no reply, he said, "Do you read French?" "No. I began, but when I got to the verbs my father died," she said simply. "I do when I have an opportunity, which latterly has not been often. My mother was a Parisienne. There is a proverb they have, Qui aime bien, châtie bien. He chastens who loves well. Do you understand me?" "Ah," she replied, and there was even a little tremulousness in the usually cool girl's voice. "If you can only fight half as winningly as you can talk, you are able to make a pleasure of a bayonet wound." And then poor Bathsheba instantly perceived her slip in making this admission. In hastily trying to retrieve it she went from bad to worse. "Don't, however, suppose that I derive any pleasure from what you tell me." "I know you do not. I know it perfectly," said Troy with much hearty conviction on the exterior of his face, and altering the expression to moodiness. "When a dozen men are ready to speak tenderly to you, and give you the admiration you deserve without adding the warning you need, It stands to reason that my poor